so that on Saturday you were well informed to vote for your candidate. So in continuing that format, we have with us the chairmanship candidate of PDP in Udenu local government area, Aka Eze Aka, who is now the former Commissioner for Information.
Right.
Good to have you, sir.
I'm
Welcome.
glad to be here once again. Thank you.
All right. I just wanted to find out if you were the one that resigned your position just to contest these particular elections, or the governor says, you know what, I want to give you a bigger assignment just because you've done something, good in your ministry just few months ago.
Well, yeah, I think I should answer it from two perspectives. But the answer is that there was a call, and I went to the governor, and he said, "Are you ready for it?" I said yes. He asked me, "It's a battle, do you know that?" And I said yes. I said, "Okay, I'll give you my blessings." And continue. So my people said there's a need to fill a vacuum, and they found me worthy. And by the time I was the Commissioner for Information, I said, if that be the case, then I have to refer to His Excellency, who is my immediate employer. So I now went to him, and he asked me these questions, these pertinent questions. Do you think it is? He said, okay, then I put in my paper, because it is mandatory that you have to resign before you take up that assignment. And I did, and here I am, as a flag bearer of PDP, within the local government area as chairman constant.
Interesting. You have been going around this campaign. I don't know whether you've had time to move around so much, because Udeni local area is quite large. It shares boundary with Nsukka. So I'm wondering, have you really gone around the change of the time for the election? It used to be October 5th, but now it's 21st of September. I don't know if you have gone around Udenu. What are the people telling you? What time have you had, to go around to seek people's thought about candidature and what they really need?
Well, I am blessed with a formidable Director General. His name is Honorable Chinedu Onu. And with other persons, he outlined the program. But I must tell you, the shift in date jolted us. It more or less pushed us into a little frenzy and action. So we now said, okay, if that be this, let us be within the law to move around. Udenu local government area is a large local government area, but not as large as certain local government areas. We have 10 wards. And these 10 wards, I had got through them.
Oh, okay.
I am especially blessed in that regard, because I had virtually lived in almost all the wards.
Wow.
One way or the other.
Okay.
So, and I had done one or two things in the wards. So it was not difficult for me to move from this ward to the other. So I will tell you that I have gone round the wards, and I've also paid visits. I've also consulted a lot of people, a lot of groups, and we rounded off our campaigns in that regard yesterday.
Okay.
So that's why I'm a little bit out, and I'm resting today to get ready for tomorrow.
All right.
Because tomorrow will be is a very important day for us, 18th, and that means that we're going to all of us from different local government areas assemble at Michael Okpara Square tomorrow to interact with the governor and the people of Enugu State.
Okay, more like a grand finale of the...
Something like that.
Okay.
Because by 19th, the whole thing will be petering out.
Yeah.
So by the election is 21st. So 20th, nothing like pain.
Campaign, yes.
I'll be inside my room asking God to help me out.
Very important.
Thank you.
So what has the people really told you about what they need in Udenu? And what are your plans for the people of Udenu?
There is a plethora of needs in Udenu, so many things, but there are ones that are quite important to them. Apart from security, which every community needs, because as you know, Udenu is a border town to Benue State, Kogi State, So in that, we need to have security. Security of Udenu local government is not what I come to an international TV like Signature TV to talk about. But suffice it to say that we are going to provide security. That's what our people need, primordial. Then I should also say that every corner of Udenu needs, every ward in Udenu needs a road. Okay. I am fortunate, or we are fortunate, that the governor is also interested in roads. So we are going to make sure that these needs, the road needs, will be attended to. Wherever the governor stops, we shall continue. Okay. Wherever we come to certain points, we ask the governor to help us to finish it off. So these are very important to us. Apart from that, the governor is also interested in schools. Okay. We are also having an inroad to schools. Agriculture, fundamentally, is very important to our people. So they are saying that they need agriculture. I will tell you that if we implement what we have, or when we implement what we have, it could be the food basket of Enugu State. Irrespective of the fact that a local government area like Uzowane has a large expanse of land and so on, but then will match Uzowane, for instance, or Aniri, because we are going to introduce different kinds of agriculture, the whole and machete kind of agriculture. So these are the things that we really need to deal with. Most of our people are traders. In other words, we call them entrepreneurs. Our women are very hardworking. Any lady from the local government area would pride herself to be a good trader. You know, sometimes there are languages we no longer that traders are now called entrepreneurs. But it's important to indicate that they are very interested in expansion of markets. So the Obolafo market, for instance, is getting quite congested, compressed, and dirty. We are not happy about it. It's part of what we are going to do to make sure that we open it up, ask people to come in, clean it up, introduce certain things, like the parks will be better managed. The parks will be, one of my friends said the parks will be cutted. We will have a reason to the parks so that it can be cleaner, it can accommodate more persons, and then some areas don't have light. Okay. We noted that. You can't industrialize, you can't progress, you can't develop without electricity. So I have even started making arrangements because I'm so confident of victory that I've started making arrangements with EED's officials to see that we have light at least 20 or 18 hours in a day. Okay. So if it becomes stabilized, we can now think about other things that can come into the local government and the area. The youths in Udenu, we need to nurse the talents. We need to harvest the talents of the youth. I am not boasting, but Udenu can feed the national team when it comes to football.
Wow.
Udenu local government can feed the national team when it comes to football. There are too many talents. I say too many, not many talents. Too many talents in Udenu. But because of exposure, some of them are only swimming in the ocean of the locality. So we want to make sure there's a vortex to open them up. That's what we are looking forward to. I had begun to discuss with, let me say, some sports group, Barrister Amobi, the Rangers general. I told him that, look, you need to come down to Denu. And he has agreed to come down to Denu because we're going to organize competitions between communities, this community and the other community, and will come. Even before getting into this, I had introduced 2 persons from my area into the Rangers Club. They are now grooming them to be part of the team, and he found them very worthy. So I believe that when we assume office, these things will come to play. I wanted to talk about agriculture thing that we are getting arrangements so that every community that can bring 10 or 100 hectares of land. What if you bring a partnership between the local government and the communities to make sure that we cultivate, have a pattern of cultivating this, so that the local government will gain and the farmers also gain. We provide a lot of assistance to them. I think there are many of the things we are going to engage in, but we need also to manage them very well.
Okay.
We have a World Bank market at Oba,
Okay.
which we need to manage very well so that it can be more productive. Our people, as I told you, are entrepreneurs, and things can work out well for our local government.
Well, what about plan for healthcare services? I understand that those who live in Udeni local area sometimes have to come into Nsukka to, get healthcare services, or even drive all the way to Enugu. So I'm wondering, are there plans and direction to make sure that hospitals are well equipped so that everyone can get healthcare in that community?
May the Lord bless the governor of Enugu State. He's building 2 primary healthcare hospitals.
Okay.
And Udeni is not left out. In fact, some of them are getting completed.
Okay.
The local government will also get interested in it. As he is building 260 PHCs, that primary healthcare hospitals, type 2, he's also building smart schools. Now, let me show this aside to bring in something that is going to be interesting to you. There is what called Umezejo Water Scheme. It has been there over the years, but it went moribund. It became unused. Out of lack of use, it began to degenerate. So what we are going to do is that we are going to copy from His Excellency to see if we can revamp that water system. And this water system can support her to Obolafo, the Amala, Oboletiti, and some parts of I think Obodaba, Oboletiti, I said Obodaba. So if we revamp it, we are going to get them into some of these type 2 hospitals. But apart from that, we also have clinics that we're now going to monitor. There's another introduction we are going to do. We're going to have a mobile hospital.
Wow, okay.
Mobile hospital. In fact, I have a friend who is coming in with that idea. And we need to have this mobile hospital because some persons find it difficult to get healthcare attention simply because they can't move from point A to point B.
Sure.
So we will now be visiting these communities perfunctorily. If we visit them today, we come back the next week, so that you will now know. If we come to area B, somebody who is in area A can easily come in to get medical attention. If it's something that is more than what doctors can treat, they can quickly refer them to the hospital. So we are getting ready and prepared for the healthcare attention for our people. So is it with water, as I said.
Okay.
There are so many programs in the at the state level that we are going to wish down to adopt and wish down. I am privileged to have served in this government. During my time of the service, I had a lot of friends who are manning some of these bodies that will help us to provide this thing. With that influence, I just told you about sports now, and Barrister Mobi. I can draw them to Denu to see things. I'd already had discussions with the Commissioner for Agriculture, this matter I'm talking about. So things will be robust enough, and I believe they work out well.
Okay, what are the plans to operate in such a manner that workers would, be updated the modern way of working? We've seen a situation where local government governance become moribund, and people don't even show up for work. And to some extent, you tend to hear more of these stories when, people, you hear things like ghost workers, people take salaries at the end of the month, they don't show up, or somebody take their salaries even when they're not there. The only time that the local government administration seem like something's happening is at the end of the month, because of course there's just days to collect salaries.
Thank
you.
So
these things, occur, most all the local governments.
I'm too eager to answer that question. You are a broadcaster. One of the things I observe from broadcasting is being there when you are needed. Broadcasting teaches us that you must be there when you're there. You don't say the time is 3 minutes past 3 and here is the news at 3 o'clock. So I intend to live in the local government area. Oh, wow. Not even in my house. My house is very close. But I intend to live inside the local government area.
Wow, okay.
It's very important to me. You must work. We also must pay necessary dues and welfare allowances. So if you don't work, not be benefiting from the local government, I don't want to stress it so that I don't want to sound too harsh to people who are working, but there must be a change of attitude. Anybody who knows me will know that I work. I do not try to sound so boastful, but I work. I believe in hard work. And hard work does not reduce any potential. In fact, it enhances it. If you work hard, you will be happier. In the night, you will sleep, you slump into your bed and sleep off, wake hunger and work again. So I believe in hard work, and people, they must work hard. That's one point. The next point is that, first of all, let me say that the government, the Enugu state government, are fight against ghost workers. The fight has been on, and the state government is winning this respect. Okay. I believe I will also join in the fight. Okay. I will work. I go to your office. If you are not there, you explain why. And I have started working with some of my friends who are in IT and so that we can have a system of clocking in.
Okay, that's good.
If you clock in, the state government has one style of, if you come in the morning, you clock, like this smart school they are talking about. I mean, you clock around 8 o'clock.
Yes.
By 12 mid clock again. 2 o'clock you clock in again, so that even if you don't come to work and you don't clock this day, you will have yourself to blame. So we must have a system where everybody must come to work. There's somebody not working and collecting fees. I think it is not tolerable. We can't tolerate it. Believe me, we can't tolerate it. Everybody should be ready to work. That's what I plead with them. And it must be highly stressed.
Okay. Recently, have the Supreme Court do its judgment that allows for some sort of financial autonomy for local governments. We haven't had that, but recently that happened, and so many states swung into action to have this autonomy happen, or have these elections so that they would obey the Supreme Court's judgment. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, because even in the previous administration, like we have seen in others, you see a situation where monies are sent to the states and these monies don't even get to the local government. And so because of that, it's on the governor to decide what amount of monies to give to the local government at any time, or maybe the local government's chairman are meant to sign a certain amount to back to the like we hear all the time. So the so-called judgment gives the local government some measure of autonomy. If you have 150 million naira coming to your local government, it's 150 million coming to your local government. Everybody knows this is the amount that's coming to the local government. How do you view that? Do you see a situation where the local government would have an issue with the statement? Or you see now more a collaboration between the state government and local government? Because we already started hearing things like the federal government wants to control the government against the state government so that it could have a grip of the so-called situation. What's your take on it?
I want to thank you for that question, because it's a question that we already answered in Enugu State. I was part of the government some months or some days ago. The governor of Enugu State began this autonomy before it was pronounced by the Supreme Court. Okay. He began it by saying that there's what we call 60-40 model. The governor of Enugu State came prepared as to lead. So he said 60-40 model means if you are a local government, your money is there for you. But what you do is that bring 50% of your money. State government will bring 60% of your money, and you embark on a project.
Okay.
If you can investigate, you will get these past local government chairmen. Most of them, they were just it was at the end of the administration that His Excellency came in.
Yes.
The governor of Enugu State came in. So within that period, they marked a lot of achievements, because the governor says, "What do you want to do?" This person said, "I want to do a hall, for instance." I'm just giving an instance. Then bring 40% of the cost. There's this economic planning commission that will verify some of the things you're doing. And if you bring 40%, they will also study the feasibility. You bring 40%, the state government brings 60%, and the job will be done. So, local government autonomy had already begun in Enugu State. It was operational in Enugu State before the Supreme Court made the declaration. But beyond that, I am happy that we have a governor who is an independent minded, who can say this is correct, and is a lawyer. He's a civil lawyer at that. So he understands when the Supreme Court is talking. There will be no need for that. But let me just talk about the autonomy, local government autonomy. It is very important for us to have that. But it's also good enough to work with the state government. Collaboration is the name. If you collaborate with the local government, with the state government, you are likely to achieve more.
Okay.
Let's say in Enugu State, the governor says he's going to do 10-kilometer roads in every ward. No government in Nigeria had ever attempted that. No state government had attempted that. He said he would build 260 smart schools. No government in Nigeria had attempted that. He's going to build 260 PHC type 2 hospitals. No government in Nigeria, no state government has attempted it. So, if the autonomy if there's if it's a collaboration between the state government and the local government, you will see that the state government will do some parts, and local government will have to key in. There will be an articulated way of achieving some democracy dividends. I want to use those words. It's not a matter of you are building one a hall, the other person is building a hut, and there will be no synergy between the two. So I believe that the autonomy is good enough, but there will be also collaboration between the state and the local government.
All right. We have to leave it there. Another thing that might be a border is the fact that tax regime is also an issue. I mean, part of the rules or part of the role of the local government is to take taxes from, business within Gudenu. I don't know what your tax regime would look like. A whole lot of persons have been complaining about tax.
Tax has never been a pleasant thing to anybody. Nobody has. Sometimes I studied accountancy, so that's why sometimes taxations are hidden, so that you see the effect. If those who smoke cigarettes will understand that they are paying higher taxes than other person. They won't know about it. But the tax regime will not be free to people. Yesterday, I discussed with traders and entrepreneurs in my area, and I told them that what tax we shall introduce will not be too new to them. The only thing is that we'll have a harmonized way of doing it, and we will not introduce that without discussing with them. Okay. So it is a friendly affair. It's something that is symbiotic. You come, we come, halfway, we now understand ourselves. So it will not be too harsh.
Okay, it will not be too harsh. It looks like it will be harsh, but not too harsh.
I said it earlier that taxation is not anybody's at any point in time. If I introduce taxation on let's say groundnut, for instance, which I will not do, if you introduce taxation on groundnut, by the time you are taking it and you know that you are paying taxes, you will not be happy. Same thing with taking beer and so on. So taxation is high in beer, for instance. Mm-hmm. To import some of these things will be too high. But the only thing is, sometimes we use taxation to discourage the consumption of certain items. So at a certain point it becomes important, at a certain point it becomes you have to relax it so that people can enjoy certain things for themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aka Isaka. Wish you all the best. The elections are due on Saturday. So tomorrow is the grand finale at Tomara Square. So I'm sure our team are going to cover that particular event.
I don't know why I'm so confident to invite you to my inauguration.
We will be there.
Thank you.
We'll be there.
I'm grateful.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of the show. We're back shortly for other segments.